as far as services and conditions and what happens to that. So there are a lot of issues that will affect the medical community, and I think it's bears close watching. As far as Friday, we had a problem with our smoke detector system. There's an annunciator panel in the business office, and it looked like they needed to be cleaned, but we had 3 faulty smoke detector heads. Those have been replaced. And my hat again goes off to Adam Rowley, the chief of the Ossipee Corner Fire Department. Always supportive, very helpful to us, and he worked our problems out with Bob Murray, our new facilities superintendent, and it was great. So we appreciate that.
Do we provide any kind of a letter of thank you or for support for him doing the things that he does for us?
I gave him a call yesterday, and I wanted to talk to him further, but I certainly sent a contact to him. And then on Monday, our residents, 13 couples participated in a Valentine Day party. We had our activity department, and it was closed to couples. They were all dressed up in their ties, and their hair was done, and they had a wonderful luncheon, and they totally enjoyed it. Music and merriment, and it was very, very nice. So hats off to the departments as far as participating, as well as I know the couples enjoyed it as well.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I was just here, so I'm in Ossipee anyways to visit the site, so I wanted to check in and see if there were still any questions regarding the payment for bids, or also wanted to let you know I had sent an email to Lori yesterday for distribution to pass along some information from the artwork consultants, since that meeting was...
We got a copy of that. I haven't had a chance to go through the whole thing.
I didn't get any copy.
We just got one copy, and I think you got it now.
It was just an email to Lori. I actually asked her if she could just print the copies up for everybody.
Yep.
The artwork consultant is also sending up, you'll have them today at some point, packages of what she was going to distribute during her presentation, of examples of the artwork and things like that. And I guess just to touch upon this a little bit.
I think we need to talk a little bit about your function and how we go about these other subcontractors.
Sure.
For ASH's benefit?
Sure.
Okay.
You know, TMD Design was hired along with us, through us.
Yeah.
They are our consultant, but their fee is part of the fee that you pay to us for the overall work in the project. TMD, its responsibility is to provide the interior design for the project. So that includes you know, finishes, flooring, wall finishes. We have wall protection in certain areas, you know, paint colors that are throughout the facility. That includes her specifying the furniture that will be in the project. So she's been paid to actually choose the furniture, that including, you know, all the fabrics that are associated with the furniture.
I just want to make sure that everybody understands. She may have chosen it, but it was in combination with a committee that sat in.
As with everything on the project.
I just want, this is for publication.
Sure. As with everything on the project, you know, she's not choosing anything without presenting it and getting comments and approvals.
Yes, I just want to make that clear to the public.
How much does she get paid?
I don't know that number off the top of my head. It is part of the fee that is paid to us. So that has been, I believe, in Randy's soft costs.
Yeah.
That very well may be broken out. Was part of our original agreement.
And so what is she? Is she a subcontractor?
She is a consultant to us, the same, and she's treated the same as the mechanical engineer is a subcontractor to us.
So she is a subcontractor?
She's a consultant. I guess it can be sort of seen as the same, but she's one of our consultants. There were consultants that were hired through us, and there were consultants that were hired directly by the commissioners. One of those Well, I guess Sybil started out being your consultant, but then I think it ended up going through us. Which sometimes, you know, it can depend. Typically, an architect will, we will have under our contract, we will have interiors, we will have mechanical engineering, we will have electrical engineering, we will have structural engineering, perhaps acoustical consulting if necessary. Sometimes we will have civil as a consultant under us. Sometimes the owner, which in this case is you, will directly hire civil. Landscape architecture is usually under the architect as a consultant. And what that really means is we directly manage them. So, as opposed to a coordination effort in terms of if the consultant is hired directly by the owner. But if we are hiring the consultant, then we are directly managing that consultant also.
I think in my correspondence with Maria that I think the Board of Commissioners feel very strongly that the landscaping portion of the project be done locally. And then we went to the art that's going to be into the facility. We have a volunteer that is going to take on that project, Maureen Spencer. And because of Carroll County and the Mount Washington Valley in particular, very artistic, that it's only fitting that anything that goes into our nursing home should be purchased locally. I think that's something the commissioners have tried to do all along with the project, wherever possible. Any of the subcontractors, like Coleman, like the brick company in Glen, they all bid on it and was within reasonable expense, were hired to do the project. I think we did that right from the get-go, that we try to have local people do the work because the taxpayers are paying the bill. And so those particular items, even though I am not a landscape design person, I am not an artistic person knowing what should go in for art, we have to rely on professional people to do that. And so it's difficult for me to be able to choose a piece of artwork, and that's why we're going to have a couple and maybe a small committee that would do that, and probably needs to get going soon. And I would share with Maureen the comments that you sent to us that I haven't had a chance to read that came in this morning. Okay. I guess also I corresponded with you that I'm not sure, and Sandy, you may need to come in on this as well as Dorothy. Did we actually look at all the furniture as to what it looks like, what the quality is, that kind of a thing?
We didn't see the actual, we didn't physically see the piece of furniture.
Get to touch it.
But we, as a group, we looked at chairs, tables, and, you know, obviously we looked at the functionality of the pieces of equipment. We looked to make sure that they were curved armrests, et cetera, because, you know, obviously, and the actual tables, et cetera, so that keeping, and again, Beth worked very diligently in regard to her knowledge base with working with residents and seating and the depth of the seat and the ability, the firmness of the seat, and those kinds of things. Obviously, and also the actual material, that it is flame retardant. It meets all of the codes that we have to meet, being a healthcare facility, and I think easy to clean,
as well as being cleanable
and all of those things. So physically, we did not see them, but we saw pieces, and we said, no, this would not. We don't really. We would not prefer that. We would like something such as this, and I think we, as a committee, felt comfortable with the pieces once we left that meeting.
And again, these are all pieces that are designed for use in this type of environment, for, you know, a healthcare environment. So they are a commercial grade you know, and in terms of the fabrics and everything.
And she's really a professional. She has done this at other facilities such as this?
Absolutely, and this is why we choose the consultants that we have on this project. You know, she and her company works primarily in healthcare. You know, she has done many projects that involve dementia care. So there was a lot of thought going into colors, fabrics, textures associated just with the dementia population in this community. Now this is exactly why we chose her as a consultant on this project, because this is what they do. And actually just the same with the landscape architecture and design. You know, that those are the projects that he does. He works with healthcare and dementia facilities.
Right.
So there are, and actually I'll just touch on the artwork briefly. The artwork consultant that was going to do a presentation today, that is her specialty.
Yep.
She provides artwork for healthcare facilities, for dementia facilities. So there are things that she is very specific in what she's looking for to provide artwork. So, we're, you know.
How would she be funded?
There's a line item in Beth's spreadsheet that she sent out a week and a half ago or so for the artwork. And part of the information that I sent you in terms of the artwork is a sheet that explains exactly what services are included under that line item.
Okay.
She is not just choosing the artwork sort of on her own and then leaving that up to the facility to do whatever they do. She's working with Beth on color coordination of the spaces. She is making sure that, again, the artwork is appropriate for the resident. She is providing frames, matting, making sure that, you know, you have a plexiglass matting, glass, things that aren't providing glare. She's looking at groupings, and she's installing and making sure that, you know, you're using security hardware. If a wall is bumped or something, nothing can fall off. A resident can't pull something off the wall. That actually includes installation also. So this is kind of all inclusive. In that line item that Beth provided in her spreadsheet, everything is included, including meetings with whomever to present ideas, you know, talk about her goals on what she's trying to provide for the facilities, look at, you know, arrangements and things like that. She also, knowing that you guys had wanted to stay as local as possible with the artwork, she had started conversations with local photographers and things like that. So just, I would, if you could please just go through the information that I sent, because I think she makes a lot of really good points. And I know I've been beating this a little bit, but I love the idea of providing a gallery space within the facility. We have sort of these long corridors that go from the main lobby area out to the elevator lobbies. And I just really think it could be a win-win for everybody. You know, the new nursing home could become, you know, further connected to the community by providing this gallery space that could provide recognition for local artists. It could be a great excuse to have events at the facility to come in and view new art. You could have, you know, exhibits that changed, you know, in these gallery spaces, but you weren't necessarily having to touch the household.